some folks see, I think, our passion and what we do and our dedication to our craft and view it as cultish. Because I think that those individuals might be in the space of like, I'm here to have fun and just hang out, and all the work you guys are putting in is weird to me. And that's an understandable perspective. Like, I understand it, right? And that goes into what I said earlier too, of, you know, work is cool versus like hanging out and being not caring is cool, right? Both are valid in their own way, and there's times for one or the other.
I saw how important VR chat was for people and what it could do for people through what I experienced and through what I saw other people experience. And I wanted that to get to more people. That's really all I wanted. And however I could contribute doing that, then sounds great. Just so happens that like community management was the thing that I had been doing as a hobby, I guess, for 15 years, accidentally. And yeah, it's usually how most community managers are born, by the way. It's by accident. Nobody really goes into it wanting to be one.
Obviously clipping, always been a problem. Never gonna go away, probably. You know, clipping of like, you know, clothes and hair. Like, if I were to try to like high five you, it goes right through your hand, like all that sort of stuff. Yep, like that's all still there, and it's like, I don't see that disappearing anytime soon. It would take a lot of work to make that disappear, and like in terms of the context of this platform, it's like, it's not worth that much amount like money to fix that, right? I know it helps like the immersion, right? But like, you know, it really is only a big problem for filmmakers. That's like the biggest limitation that I personally don't like the most, is like the clipping and inability to actually fully interact with another avatar.
Because the worst thing on a dating app is to see people as shallow and like replaceable and, you know, just another fish in the ocean. No, we want you to be like a special fish in like an aquarium, as opposed to, I don't know, like a sardine in the ocean. So we really want to make people, you know, show the best of themselves, and we try to, at least through moderation, enforce good norms of behavior as well.
You know, real life is more immersive than VR, actually. It's the ideal. So yeah, I don't know, VR lets you meet kind of a wider range of people from wherever, but then I think it's important, or it's good if you can, to kind of bring that into real life.
Being a club owner really comes down to being like a guidance counselor for a high school, because you're constantly listening to he said, she said. Eventually you'll get like little evidences, but you have to still sit down and talk to people. And then even if you don't sit down and talk to them, you have to explain to their like friends that are going to ask the questions, hey, why was this person gotten rid of, or why were they essentially expelled from the group, or anything like that. And it's a never-ending cycle, and you'll always be dealing with something. As much as you don't want drama to be there, when people are involved with each other in such a close setting, eventually someone's going to say something else to upset someone, and you have to handle it. And constantly having to handle that never-ending revolving door of issues is inevitably where it becomes a struggle for a lot of places, because it demotivates a lot of people.
Helping people put a smile on their face, or just prevent them from doing something could possibly harmful to themselves. As long as they can stay positive, as I can, everything is good.
You as an artist matter. Like, what your passions are matter, and the things that you can't build right now, we want to help you build it. And like, that is really hard to find someone who's capable of doing that. Because like they don't exist, and the only reason like it kind of exists now is because we found each other through VR chat, and we discovered through VR chat our passions for a version of VR that we don't see happening yet, and that which we want to make happen for the people who are not necessarily programmers, who are not necessarily infrastructure creators or game engine developers, who's like, I just want to make a cool game, man.
Their creativity enables them to know who they are as a person. Like, when they start to express themselves, they start to understand themselves, and what talents they have. So, like, everybody's an artist. It doesn't matter who you are, you have an artist soul. And I'm trying to teach that a little bit. Like, just how easy it is to 3D model. Like, you don't have to kit bash, you don't have to throw money away buying models. You can make them yourself in hours, not months. It's very easy with the tools we have now. You just know you have to spend 30 minutes to learn how to do it. That's it.
There is an audience there. There was not at the time. There was not centralized there wasn't a centralized femboy group. Now you look, there's all sorts of different femboy this, femboy that. But at the time, every place you would go to, yeah, we have 2 or 3 femboys here, but we don't have a centralized, thing. So I was just like, I felt like there was a market at the time that was like, maybe this would help blow it up a little bit,
If you, again, surround yourself by creative people, you'll be more creative. Like, it's just, it's like the same thing as, I felt like, it's why, like, I don't vibe with a lot of my, like, high school friends anymore, because it's like, all they do is kind of just, like, stay at home and play video games, and it's like, if you just surround yourself by people like that, it's like who you are. So, like, I try and surround myself with similar-minded people.
Yeah, you're gonna get me tearing up here, but I'm a very lucky man to, especially on here, getting to hear people's stories and backgrounds, and a lot of people on here are broken, right? I always say, if you're on VR chat, there's a problem with you. It doesn't matter what it is, you've just got a problem. And sadly for a lot of people, that problem is their relationship with their parents, and that could be because of their sexuality, because of abuse. I am so lucky that I grew up in a family that loved and cared for me, and hearing about people's experience in here has made me appreciate what I have way more.
People don't need to be nervous about being a good DJ. Like, you don't need to be a competitive turntablist to have people want to come see you perform. Like, you can play songs and do simple transitions, and as long as you're not train wrecking, then everybody will have a good time. And that's what really people should be focusing on, is not what makes like this DJ better than that one. I guess I just kind of have a bad taste in my mouth from my experience in the mid 2000s, where people were arguing whether you should be using CDs or vinyl. Like, it's a stupid argument.
What's easier than what's out there right now that solves your problem? And that's basically what it was. It was just not, the website, the competition and stuff like that wasn't put together in a way that made sense for, like, our niche of looking for things. You always had the same types of things at the top of the page. There was basically no discoverability. Just things like that. And then you're like, this is a problem. How can I fix this? And then you come up with a solution and you implement it. You can just build things.
I couldn't find anyone who could make the specific things I really wanted. So I just kind of slowly built up the knowledge, and nowadays I've made most of the things that I really wanted back when I initially began, and obviously I keep having new ideas of things I want. Like, idea making is definitely not a problem I have. I usually can't keep up with my own ideas. I have a lot of projects that I want to work on, and as well as, like, making them is not fast enough to keep up with that.
Streaming is great because I get to be myself, I get to be good at games, and I get to talk to people, and they get to watch me get blues and cry, and and it's just a good time. Like, I love chat. Nothing else in this world makes me happier than starting my stream and seeing people talk to me, and seeing a group of people already be there in chat and talking to me, and to know that these people, like, enjoy me, and I see them in Discord, and they're my friends. I love that. That's awesome. It feels so good to feel supported by people who you love and they love you, and it's awesome. It's wonderful. Streaming is great. I don't think I'll ever give up streaming, no matter what.
That I also wanted to just, I wanted to have a extension of myself, essentially, to have almost as like a thank you, I guess, for the experiences that this platform has given me. I genuinely owe so much of my life and my current like healthier mental state to VR chat, and so this is sort of like me like saying thank you. I have this back. I hope I can make someone feel as welcome as I felt when I first came here.
I may not, live in a mansion, and I'm not driving a Mustang, but I couldn't be happier. I'm truly happy with the life I have, and I'm eternally grateful for the things I've been given. The projects I do, like the talk show and the award show, are to give back to the community that gave me everything. That's super important to me to kind of pay it forward. So for me, this is my world. This is arguably more important to me. This is more important to me than the real world is. And I never want to see that change. I never want to be anywhere else, if I'm honest.
Unlearning the way you've learned a song for years is very tricky. My voice resonates in different ways to be able to hit these notes in the way that I want them to. So it's basically relearning so many songs, including my own, in ways that I want people to hear them. That's been probably the most technically challenging aspect. But it's just been so freeing to sing as myself. It's interesting. It's like Starheart's a much more authentic way to sing than my IRL stuff ever was in the past.
I hate when I see people think that jumping into streaming means that they need to grind. It's the wrong mindset. It's not a time thing. If you're gonna grind, do that off stream. Think about what you're going to do with those 3 to 4 hours. That is what you need to grind at, not just sitting in front of your computer for 20 hours and hoping for something to happen, hoping for something to fall at your feet. Does it happen? Well, of course it does. Like, it does happen, but not at the rate that it would if you were really showcasing a better product.
Some stuff loses their magic, you know what I mean? It's like,
oh yeah,
it's like if a magician has a nice trick for you, it's a million times more impressive if you don't know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's a little bit the same. It's the same principle for me with VRChat. I still love VRChat, of course, and I'm still on VRChat all the time. But it lost a little bit of its magic. But that's only because I know how to do most of the things.
It is so hard to go through life thinking you're a lazy piece of shit. And I went through life for so long thinking I am just lazy. I just can't do things. I don't know why, and I just, you feel useless. And I don't feel useless anymore. And I found a lot of my other mental health issues were stemming from not being able to do things and feeling like a useless failure who's extremely lazy. But yeah, just getting help, even if it's not meds, getting help from someone to at least kind of unravel the thoughts and see what's going on really helps.
In terms of like what do I want out of the album, I was more just excited to learn about how people felt about it instead of trying to decide what they would feel from it, just getting the reaction of how they felt after listening to it, because all my songs are self-experiences, so I'm kind of just like sharing what I went through. And then I suppose it's up to the person listening to I guess comprehend it in a certain way and see how they would feel about my experience. And a lot of the times with a lot of people's musics, a lot of it is relatable because we are all very similar as human beings, emotional and all that fun stuff. The human psyche.
Hello, and welcome to another message from me, your host, Nefertiti of the Sweet Talking Podcast. I don't really do these very often, and I don't really have any sort of like game plan of how I want to really approach this. So I'm kind of just want to just go off the cuff and just say thank you to everyone who has been so instrumental in making everything happen with the Sweet Token podcast. As you all know, this sort of thing isn't done, just by myself. This is something that I do because I truly want to show people the different sides that VR chat has to offer and the many, many vibrant souls that very much inhabit VR chat, and that's why I do the podcast. But I think I would be absolutely remiss if I did not thank those who took the time out of their very busy schedules to come onto the podcast. And that's really what this video is about. It's saying thank you to those who were on the podcast in 2025. I really couldn't have done it without you guys. This is really about you and less about me. Sure, I run the whole show by myself, but at the end of the day, I have no show without you guys being willing to give of your time and of your energy to give someone, another small creator, a little bit of a chance. So, again, I'm very, very grateful to each and every one of you who have been on the podcast. And, while I'm at it, honestly, I'll just kind of say that too, while I'm here. Thank you to everyone who's been on the podcast. I really wouldn't be at episode 72 without you guys. And 72 just came out a couple of weeks ago. It was my interview with Trudeus, one of the head managers of LuxNova, and he heads over the Observer branch, the Observer team of LuxNova. So that was episode 72. So 2026 is hopefully looking to be something similar to 2025, of course, but at the same time, I'm definitely really going to be focusing on trying to catch up on a lot of the episodes that really haven't been released yet. That's something that I really want to get done this year. I was very, very bad at production when I first started the podcast, and now that I've gotten better and I've improved substantially, I think it's time that I finally just get those done. So at the end of the day, I just want to say thank you. I don't want to bore you guys with the details of what my plans are for the podcast, blah, blah, blah. You'll find out. You'll see it when it starts, when I do my thing. You'll see. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being involved in what I do and believing in what I do. I really didn't expect to be at episode 72. Let me tell you that. I really didn't plan on that. But here we are, and I'm very, very just so grateful. I didn't want to ramble too much, but I tend to kind of do that, being a yapper and all that. But in any case, thank you guys very, very much for giving me a chance and allow me to interview you guys. The podcast will continue, and I certainly hope to have your support. And just, I guess, one little last thing, because, I should talk about it. I will be revamping my Patreon very, very soon. And it's going to be solely about the podcast. So, if you've wanted to support the podcast, my Patreon is, has been something else for a pretty long time now. But if you'd like to support the podcast in the future, we're just going to kind of simplify everything and just make it real easy for you to do that through the Patreon. So I'd really appreciate if anybody who's interested in that sort of thing would give it a look. Maybe in the next, couple of weeks or so. Not yet, but soon. And, hopefully give it a look and consider supporting the podcast. I am a one-person army, one-person show. And I basically am also a full-time streamer, so literally any little bit of support can help. So please consider that if you like what I do. I look forward to 2026, and I certainly hope that you all will too. Thank you so much for listening, and let's make 2026 a badass year. All right? I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.